Hey all, Ron Armstrong, filmmaker extraordinaire, and today I want to go over 10 secrets to dominating social media. Now, I have a lot of experience in doing this and creating viral videos. If you haven't seen my video, White Power, it's a comedy, just click on the link below. It'll take you to that. You can kind of see that it has over 1 million hits. And a lot of great things happen because of that video. It's very interesting. So it actually spawned a web series. But I want to talk about my key learnings from that and just things that I think will really be effective for anyone looking to make a presence or build their brand online. So let's talk about that, the 10 secrets to dominating social media. The first one is publish or post during key times for your specific social media channel. So the different channels have their different peak times that you want to be aware of and post during those times. Posting outside of that window can be kind of frustrating because you won't get as many views or likes or thumbs up. So just be aware of every social media channel has its own times in which people are viewing, in which they're commenting, and you want to take advantage of that. The next one is post consistently and according to a schedule. You want to make sure you're posting maybe a video a day or tweeting a couple of times throughout the day, or with Instagram posting throughout the day. And that's very important because you want to maintain a schedule and be consistent so your followers know when they can expect new and fresh content from you. And once you start to build that following, they will expect to see content. And when they don't, it gets disappointing and you can lose those followers because when things go dark on your channel, they're wondering what happened to you and they go and follow someone else. The other thing is base posts based on trending topics. So this is very important because you want to look at what's trending, what's popular. You know, you don't just want to post things that are probably at the top of your mind, that's a good idea, but you want to see you want to put your finger on the pulse of the audience and see what they really care about and kind of like springboard off that. One of the great ways to do that is to read your threads or to read the comments that your previous post had and to see how they feel about it or what their concerns are. I've seen a lot of marketers who are more concerned with putting out their products and they weren't actually listening to their followers or the audience to see what their pain points were, and consequently the product was not tailored around real world issues that the audience had or the followers had. The other thing is what's really works is to create some type of controversy or something that's emotionally gripping. That always works. You know, when you're tackling a controversial subject or something that's taboo, or it could be very lighthearted or funny or very serious. The audience tends to tune into that. And I see a lot of emotional engagement in social media where people seem to be more interested in the controversy where you have, for example, different YouTubers fighting each other or bad-mouthing each other, and that increases their engagement. And some of the things, the practices that I've seen that I don't recommend that you use is that to get subscribers, I've seen YouTubers or vloggers, what they'll do is they'll comment on somebody else's YouTube video who's very, very popular, and that will help them gain an audience, you know, if they're kind of struggling to gain views. So I don't recommend you do that, but that's just some tips there. The other thing is your title and your tags. You always want to include your keywords and your tags in your videos. Especially example on YouTube or Vimeo or what have you. But the most important thing is the title. A title can make or break you. You want to have a title that's concise, but that's true to form, meaning that it does speak to the issue of what's in your video or what's in your post, and you're not just titling it something for clickbait or to be sensational. You know, one of the things I've seen that can work, you know, again, I don't think you should engage in these practices, but you can use things that, you know, cause, again, going back to the controversy, for example, you know, Ron Armstrong exposed, you know, and that could get people to tune in and saying, well, what are they talking about? What's exposing him, or what is that? And really it's you just, you know, talking about yourself, and maybe it could be something that, you know, you eat too much chocolate ice cream or chocolate cake or something of that nature, you know, citing something very personal, but exposing more about your personal life and everything. So you can try that and see how that works. The other thing is you want to do is you want to create a type of ecosystem. So if you're posting, you want to make sure that you have links that link to other content that you have. So if you're putting up videos, make sure that in a description box you have your links to your Facebook, Twitter accounts, Pinterest, everything. And what it is once they click on that link, for example, to your Facebook page will link them to your Instagram and things of that nature. And that creates this whole ecosystem. It's very important to do that because they get to know a little bit more about you, and it actually creates more views on your content. The other thing is you want to partner with influencers. Now, influencers are sometimes called brand and well, not brand ambassadors, but influencers are people who are kind of like thought leaders in the industry or their specific industry. These are people that if you partner with them, their following, if it's huge, can help to increase your following. So you're kind of leveraging their audience to build your own audience. And it's very difficult to get influencers because it's, if, for example, you have one influencer who has, on YouTube, let's say, for example, 500,000 subs, and you only have 10,000 subs, well, there's no motivation for them to partner with you or to, like, for example, showcase your video or whatever, because there's no trade-off there. It's totally, they have more subscribers than you, so there's no benefit for them to showcasing you. However, if you're kind of close to each other, if you have 400,000, they have 500,000, then that's a really good partnership, and you can kind of like vibe off each other and work with each other, partner with each other to do affiliate programs or to do, a Google Hangout together and things of that nature. So that's an idea there. The other thing is more important, just as important, and I kind of like advise some of my clients this, and I kind of miss the boat on this sometimes myself, is to always have a call to action. Whether it's to say, really just point blank say, click here, subscribe to my channel. And if you don't do it, meanwhile, subscribe to this YouTube channel, okay? So if you don't do that, people will forget. They'll watch your video, read your blog post, and they'll be like, oh, okay, that's it. But there's no next step for them to follow. That's very important. And even if you have a product to sell, ask them for the sale. Say, hey, you know what? Here's my product, take a look at it, purchase it, it's a good deal. Don't be afraid to do that because this is what you're involved in. It's you're trying to sell yourself or a brand or a product. So keep that in mind. You want to do that. The other thing is I tend to do a lot, and it works for me, is to split test or to look at the metrics. Say, for example, if you do several videos, and you'll see that one video kind of takes the lead and the numbers of views, or for example, an Instagram post or a blog post or whatever has a higher engagement than anything else you've done. And you have to look at that topic and that subject matter and say, this is resonating with the audience. So maybe I should do follow-ups to this. And that's very important because when you do those follow-ups, you'll then find your voice or find your audience. And that's something you probably want to focus in as your niche. So think about that. And the other tip, the final tip, the 10th one, is triggers or keywords. Very important in your videos to come up with your own type of unique nomenclature, and this really makes you distinct. It separates you from everybody. And it's kind of fun watching a video when somebody's often coming up with these keywords and these trigger words that get people to think and it causes them to pause for a minute. And there's a lot more to say about that, and we could talk about that. Like, for example, often talking about issues like social justice, that resonates with people. They want to know more about social justice and things like that, or Black Lives Matter, things like that. So, using those trigger words and those things get people to get more insight as to certain subject matters. They understand that this is what you're about and that you're going to be going more in depth on those topics. So those are the 10 most important things. There are other things that will help you to dominate social media, but I wanted to cover those things briefly. If you want more information, you can tune in to this YouTube channel, and I'll be posting more information about that. But also I have a company called iTiger Media. It's a cool company that does social media, film production, and website development. And I'd be happy to, give you some more advice. I give like consultations out. So check it out. Link in the description box. And this is Ron K. Armstrong, filmmaker extraordinaire, and that's all for now.